doing today?
I'm doing good.
What's your name and how old are you?
My name is Celine.
Good evening, viewers. Tonight we spotlight the extraordinary rise of Hong Kong-born vocal prodigy Celine Tam, a teenager whose crystalline high notes once triggered a golden buzzer frenzy on America's Got Talent, but whose private journey tells a far more complex story. From that life-changing moment on a Los Angeles stage in 2017 to the swirling debates over parental ambition, academic balance, and the price of child stardom, Celine's path has captivated and divided millions across continents. Stay with us as we trace how a single car ride rendition of My Heart Will Go On set in motion a global career, how social media transformed supportive applause into relentless scrutiny, and why industry insiders now call her the voice carrying the hopes and the headaches of a new generation. This is the headline of a young life lived at full crescendo, and the echoes are only getting louder. Our story opens amid the jostling skyline of Hong Kong, where neon lights flicker late into the night and Cantonese opera melodies drift through narrow streets. It was here, on November 22nd of 2007, that Celine Tam first drew breath, mere steps from Victoria Harbor's restless waves. Her father, Dr. Steve Tam, a steadfast voice coach and founder of the Sing and You Music Center, quickly noticed that his toddler could match pitch before she could spell her name. Within months, the living room floor doubled as a rehearsal studio, scales at dawn, Mandarin folk songs at lunch, Western ballads by bedtime. By the time kindergarten classmates were trading Pokemon cards, Selena was logging 3-hour practice blocks, her small fingers gripping a studio microphone almost as large as her face. At age 5, she stepped on stage for China's televised Let's Sing Kids, delivering a pitch-perfect performance that stunned judges and drew local headlines hailing a voice twice her age. Yet home life remained modest, tiny apartment, borrowed keyboards, and a father who juggled late-night bus rides between teaching gigs just to afford vocal tech books. Neighbors often paused outside their door to absorb the soaring notes that leaked into the hallway, unaware they were witnessing the embryonic stages of a global phenomenon. Still, amid the city's frenetic pace, crowded tram rides, after-school cram sessions, and the ceaseless din of opportunity and distraction, Celine's focus rarely wavered. Each day ended the same way it began. One more run of scales, one more reminder from her father that passion without discipline is merely a hobby. And so, while many 6-year-olds drifted to sleep with bedtime stories, Celine drifted off counting breath support and diaphragm control, unknowingly laying the foundation for a career about to leap far beyond Hong Kong's horizon. But that humble training ground was only the overture to a golden buzzer crescendo the world would never forget. Dateline Hong Kong, picture a drizzly weekday rush hour, headlights ricocheting off wet asphalt as a young Celine Tam hums softly in the back seat of her father's compact sedan. According to family accounts, it was during this routine drive that lightning struck. Midway through Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On, the 9-year-old lofted a high note so pure it froze Dr. Steve Tam's hands on the steering wheel. That spontaneous burst convinced the veteran coach his daughter's gift was no mere hobby, a pivotal moment that would redirect family schedules, savings, and ambition. Within months, Celine's name appeared on the roster of NBC's Little Big Shots in 2014, where she shared a duet of You Raise Me Up with Canadian prodigy Jeffrey Lee. The performance, uploaded the same night, shot past 1 million views in under 48 hours, vaulting Celine from local wonder to budding global headline. Critics praised her poise, noting a breath control rare even among adult vocalists. Parents across Asia bookmarked the clip as proof that disciplined training could still triumph in the viral age. Yet behind the applause lay a new reality. Homework juggled with jet lag, vocal warm-ups in airport lounges, and a family learning, sometimes painfully, that every viral spike carries the weight of expectation. And for Celine, the next expectation would be her biggest audition yet, 7,200 miles from the Hong Kong harbor lights. Los Angeles, August 2017, under the blinding spotlights of America's Got Talent Season 12, a 9-year-old in a navy dress stepped onto the Pasadena Civic Auditorium stage and gripped the microphone with steady hands. Moments later, Celine Tam's rendition of My Heart Will Go On soared through the hall, silencing even Simon Cowell's trademark skepticism. By the final climactic note, guest judge Laverne Cox slammed the golden buzzer, unleashing a blizzard of confetti as the audience erupted into a standing ovation. Overnight, the performance rocketed across YouTube, Weibo, and Twitter, amassing millions of views and thrusting the Hong Kong prodigy onto global headlines. Yet behind the viral euphoria lay a grueling schedule, cross-continental flights, relentless rehearsals, and schoolwork squeezed between sound checks. Although Celine ultimately exited in the semifinals, critics hailed her technical precision and emotive control, while fans decried the loss as the biggest upset of the season. The girl from Victoria Harbor had officially joined pop culture's elite, and the world's fascination with both her voice and her family's ambitions was only beginning. In the months following Celine Tam's sensational American debut, media focus widened to her foremost mentor, her father, Dr. Steve Tam, and a storm of questions erupted. Industry bloggers began probing the credentials behind his doctor honorific, discovering that his doctorate was in business administration from an institution some critics label as unaccredited. Others argued the degree's field offered little assurance of musical expertise. The scrutiny intensified when veteran Hong Kong entertainer Nancy Sit publicly accused Dr. Tam of recruiting students away from her own art center, a dispute that forced him into a televised apology and fanned whispers that his daughter's talent was a family revenue stream. Skeptics grew louder after he released a self-produced album just months after Celine's Golden Buzzer fame, timing many felt piggybacked on her spotlight. Dr. Tam countered in interviews that the album was long planned, that Celine's schooling remains top priority, and that every cent from her appearances is reinvested in vocal training and education. Yet online forums remained divided. Supporters praised a devoted parent shepherding extraordinary talent, while detractors warned of a child star's welfare teetering between nurture and exploitation. With each new headline, Celine found her own achievements increasingly entangled with debates about parental ambition, controversies that would shadow every stage she stepped onto next. Beijing, May 2019. 2 years after her American whirlwind, Celine Tam took another leap onto the world stage, this time for the inaugural World's Got Talent special taped at Hunan Television's star-studded studio complex. Facing an international roster of seasoned vocalists, dancers, and acrobats, the now 11-year-old chose Josh Groban's soaring You Raise Me Up, blending English lyrics with a surprise Mandarin verse that drew gasps from the live audience. Midway through the final chorus, Judge Coco Lee rose to her feet and slammed the golden buzzer, showering Celine in confetti for the second time in her young career. The clip racked up 10 million views on Chinese video platform Bilibili within a week, widening her fan base across Asia and securing her a top 8 finish. Industry analysts noted a marked evolution, a richer alto register emerging through adolescence, and a confident command of bilingual phrasing. With the performance came endorsement offers, headphones, streaming apps, even a themed children's perfume. Yet Celine's team publicly declined most sponsorships, citing artistic focus and school commitments. Still, a month-long mini tour of Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Taipei sold out in hours, confirming that the Hong Kong prodigy was now a bona fide regional headliner. Critics hailed her as proof that prodigy status need not fade with puberty, but child star advocates cautioned that a heavier travel schedule could strain both voice and education. The question for observers became clear: could Celine balance mounting commercial demand with the academic promise her family insisted would never be sacrificed? The next phase of her journey would test that equilibrium and introduce a surprising turn toward philanthropy. Hong Kong, 2020. While many teenage performers chased sponsorships, 13-year-old Celine Tam pivoted toward philanthropy. Partnering with the global nonprofit Room to Read, she became the organization's youngest literacy ambassador, filming public service messages that urged girls across Asia to stay in school, even as pandemic lockdowns shuttered classrooms. The videos, produced in both English and Cantonese, quickly climbed regional trending lists, transforming Celine from viral vocalist into youth advocate. Off-camera, she live-streamed kitchen table concerts from her apartment, raising scholarship funds by taking real-time song requests from an international chat feed. Industry analysts praised her deft blend of artistry and altruism, noting that such goodwill also broadened her fan demographic to parents and educators wary of showbiz excess. Yet the calendar remained relentless. Online courses at dawn, vocal drills at noon, charity calls by evening. Critics wondered aloud whether the packed agenda left room for childhood at all. Unfazed, Celine posted study session vlogs titled Math and Melody, insisting she could balance algebra with arpeggios. But the test of that balance would escalate in the post-pandemic boom as arenas reopened and big-ticket collaborations beckoned. Up next, a European duet that would push her maturing voice and public profile to new heights. Berlin, November 2024. Under the vaulted roof of Mercedes-Benz Arena, packed to its 17,000-seat brim, German pop icon Helene Fischer paused her holiday spectacular to welcome a young voice the world first met through confetti. Moments later, Celine Tam walked on stage, greeted by a roar that spanned languages. Their live duet of You Raise Me Up, Fischer in lilting German, Tam answering in English, aired on ZDF to a primetime audience of 15 million and trended worldwide inside 30 minutes. Reviewers hailed the pairing as a cross-continental handshake, noting how puberty had settled Celine's once soprano register into a gilded mezzo that glided effortlessly above Fischer's crystal soprano. The performance unlocked a new European fan surge, while back home, the high school junior clinched first place at Hong Kong Star's 2024 Talent Finals with an original bilingual ballad, edging out university-level competitors. On social media, a 4-second riff from her unreleased single Moonlight Coffee sparked the number Celine Note Challenge, vaulting past 12 million TikTok plays in 48 hours, and convincing music industry trackers that a self-written EP, rumored for late 2025, could redefine her trajectory from virtuoso interpreter to teenage songwriter. Yet amid the euphoria, Selena posted a midnight Instagram story from her chemistry lab, textbooks stacked beside sheet music, captioned simply, "Beakers before encores." For fans and critics alike, it signaled the next test. Could a budding global headliner still ace next semester's exams? The balancing act was entering its most daring phase. Hong Kong, March 2025. While peers shuffle to homeroom, Celine Tam starts her day with a 6 a.m. vocal warm-up before slipping into a standard issue school blazer. Dr. Steve Tam maintains on record that his daughter still attends no fewer than 80% of classes, a claim backed by recent images of her seated in chemistry lab, earbuds out, safety goggles on. Yet critics note a calendar dotted with weekend showcases in Shenzhen, Zoom songwriting sessions with a Hong Kong indie label rumored to be shepherding her first self-penned EP, and a looming summer tour tentatively titled Moonlight Coffee Live. Industry watchers calculate that rehearsal hours plus travel could outpace homework time by mid-semester, raising fresh alarms over burnout and vocal strain. For now, Selena posts late-night Instagram stories of math equations beside lyric sheets, captioned "Auto beakers before encores," as proof she's keeping pace. Whether that balance can hold once studio deadlines harden and exam season hits in June remains the unanswered question echoing through fan forums and faculty lounges alike. And as the debate over nurture versus pressure intensifies, our final report asks, what is the true cost of chasing greatness before adulthood? Hong Kong, March 2025. While peers shuffle to homeroom, Celine Tam starts her day with a 6 a.m. vocal warm-up before slipping into a standard issue school blazer. Dr. Steve Tam maintains, on record, that his daughter still attends no fewer than 80% of classes, a claim backed by recent images of her seated in chemistry lab, earbuds out, safety goggles on. Yet critics note a calendar dotted with weekend showcases in Shenzhen, Zoom songwriting sessions with a Hong Kong indie label rumored to be shepherding her first self-penned EP, and a looming summer tour tentatively titled Moonlight Coffee Live. Industry watchers calculate that rehearsal hours plus travel could outpace homework time by mid-semester, raising fresh alarms over burnout and vocal strain. For now, Celine posts late-night Instagram stories of math equations beside lyric sheets, captioned "Auto beakers before encores," as proof she's keeping pace. Whether that balance can hold once studio deadlines harden and exam season hits in June remains the unanswered question echoing through fan forums and faculty lounges alike. And as the debate over nurture versus pressure intensifies, our final report asks, what is the true cost of chasing greatness before adulthood? That concludes our report on the remarkable and often complicated rise of Celine Tam. If her story moved you, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and tell us whether you believe prodigies can truly balance spotlight and childhood. For more deep dive profiles like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell so you never miss a headline. And if you're ready for another compelling journey, click the next video now appearing on your screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next broadcast.